Hey guys, so we're going to talk about the way we have changed since the beginning a year and a half ago. I can't believe it's been a year and a half. Um, but to do that, I think I need to give you a little bit of a backstory on mine. So here we go. This is probably going to be a long video again, so I apologize. So from the middle of high school till the middle of college for me, I'm about to be a senior. I was really depressed because I'm bipolar. But I'm like bipolar 2, and the way it showed up for me was I would just be like months and months of depression nonstop, with like bursts of hypomania occasionally, and like the rapid spending and the like can't stop talking, can't stop leg shaking, want to drive to St. Louis in the middle of the day kind of thing. From never mind. So for me, the biggest change is just like that's all gone. I'm happier. I'm more outgoing. I mean, I had the face, like I knew how to put on the smile. I was depressed for long enough that I had learned exactly how to do it. I knew like what the tells were. I knew like the way that my family and friends would figure out if something was wrong. So I knew exactly what to avoid doing. So I once, while under the influence of alcohol, not that I drink or anything, told my friend, the happier I seem, the less happy I really am. And she was like, "Oh, you're drunk. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense." But like the next day I realized that was how I lived my life back then. The happier I seemed, probably the less happy I actually was, because I was working that much harder to put on the facade. So for me, it's like it's not that I seem more outgoing. Like maybe I'm just as outgoing as I ever was, but it's like it's so much easier now. It's so much happier. It's I just it had been so long. I went a long, long time from when I was like truly happy to when I was happy again, like years. And for me, it was a big deal to come out of it. I spent like the reason I asked the question, what's the hardest thing you've ever done, which aside, I'm really happy you guys share that stuff with us. Like it must have taken a lot of courage to just type that up, and I know like the people who typed up stuff like seem to still be struggling. So I hope that the issues can I don't want to say be resolved, because they're not the kind of things that can be resolved, but I hope that you guys can just be okay. I'm sorry to see what you guys have been struggling with. But back to my story. So one of the hardest things I ever did was I had to tell a shrink that I was suicidal. It didn't stop me. Like I did this, and then 3 months later I ended up attempting suicide. But it was like I couldn't talk about what was wrong. So that's the other big change for me. It's like now I can talk. I can articulate all of my feelings and my problems. So it's like when I feel, crazy, or when I feel sad, or when I feel anything, like I can talk to people about that. I know how to fix it. And I'm so happy to see that there's this change in my life now. So yeah, I've changed a lot since the beginning of this. Like I've I've really I used to be like this, super happy all the time, super bright and sparkly, that's how I am now. Like back in middle school, early high school, but I lost it for so long, and I feel like I'm back. I used to say the light has gone out from my eyes, or from like, but it's like that light, that sparkle is back, and it feels so much better to be in this good place now. And so yeah, that's mostly how I've changed. This has nothing to do with anything, but I think you probably might have noticed my decor change. So this is my new room for next year. I have 5 giant One Direction posters on my walls, and I am thrilled about that. No one would think I was ever 21, would they? Would ever think I was 21, would they? I can't speak this language. You should see the number of outtakes I have from this. I started this video like 4 times. Also, I have bubble wrap. I'm so excited about this. I actually have 2 giant pieces of bubble wrap. Well, not giant, but they came with my One Direction clock, because I totally needed that. I'm done with oh my gosh, I went like 2 weeks and bought a whole bunch of stuff online, and I'm totally done with that forever. I think it was because I stopped taking my medicine for a little while. I didn't do it on purpose. I keep forgetting. I've done it like the last 3 days straight. I am on a roll. I'm going to continue. I'm going to be perfect from now on. But I'm so bad at that. I'm just like, I'm no more responsible. That's one thing that hasn't changed. I'm really bad about taking medicine. Always was. I don't know if I should include this because I'm not sure if it's relevant or it might just be redundant considering that I already talked about the depression. But the depression sort of caused me to live a lifestyle back then when this thing started that I don't necessarily like. Like, I considered myself a bit of an alcoholic because I used it as a coping mechanism. And I wasn't like drinking on Friday nights as like, oh, I want to have fun. I was drinking on Friday nights as like binge to forget your problems. And then occasionally, like, if I happened to have something in my room, it'd be like, oh, Wednesday afternoon I'm watching a movie and I'm really depressed. Might as well crack a beer. Like, I had an issue with alcohol. And it wasn't like alcoholism in the sense that, like, you have to go to AA adults kind of thing, but I'm really glad that I've gotten past that. And like I said, it's kind of redundant because it's related to the depression, but I'm glad that's over with. So as much as this video contained a lot of depressing stuff, the moral of the story is that everything is better, and I'm in a really good place now, and I'm really glad to have you guys, and what else? I guess that's it. So yeah, that's how I've changed in the last year and a half. DFTBA. Also, since I've shown off all of the rest of my 1D swag, here's my 1D shirt.